Good afternoon, good evening, welcome. We are here live from Proactive Sport Performance in Orange County. I'm Dr. Dana Ryan, Director of Sport Performance and Education for Herbalife Nutrition, and I'm so fortunate to be joined here by Founder, Director of Proactive, Ryan Capretta.
Yeah, we're excited. Talk a little nutrition and training. Let's get it going.
So we're going to spend the next half an hour or so talking about sports nutrition, who an athlete really is. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about who athletes are. So for those of you that are watching, maybe looking for a little bit of inspiration to get off the couch and start working out, we're not just going to talk about elite athletes, but we're going to talk about the everyday person too. And hopefully you'll really find something in this that really motivates you to find that athlete within yourself and think about ways that you can improve your performance on a daily basis. So I know a lot of you that are watching have seen Ryan as a face of a lot of our combine videos, a lot of the content that we put out on Herbalife 24. But Ryan, if you want to, before we get into the nutrition, kind of take a step back and explain the relationship with Herbalife and Proactive.
Sure, yeah. So we've been fortunate over the past decade to work with Herbalife. And the fun part for us has been really navigating through the different types of people we work with, and it is a lot of elite athletes, but it's also people trying to lose weight, people trying to just put on some muscle. So the bottom line is it's been a great tool for us. And as a company, it's really helped us grow in terms of the results and really what we're providing our clients. So it's been a lot of fun, and we can dive into some of the more specific things, but we've thoroughly enjoyed it from top to bottom, using it. It's part of our daily routine. So it's a lot of fun.
And I think it's fun, in the 4 years that you and I have worked together, just the relationship that has evolved and, how we've really integrated nutrition into the combine program, into the athletes that you have coming through the door on a daily basis, but also the adult fitness programs that you have coming in.
Yeah. So, I mean, to touch on the combine a little bit, when these guys come in, they're coming from all over, they're coming from different regions of the country. We have 160 pounders. We have 370 pounders. So we have a lot of different variations, and they always start with just a download of, hey, what do you do right now? Let's get some baseline numbers. And we're fortunate to have Dr. Ryan take everybody through this and look at and create a plan that's specific to them. And that's the part, again, just going back to the 24 line, which we use for all of our combine athletes. It allows us a lot of variety throughout, not just the players, but throughout the week. We do so many different types of training, as you know. So we have the sprint and conditioning work. We have the weights and the recovery. So we tie it all in, and that's where really it's a different maker. For the fitness side of it, we've done some fitness challenges over the years, and that's been cool. We've had some people that have bought into the whole nutrition side and the supplements as well, and we've been able to compare some of those results to some of the people that just trained hard and didn't really take to that side. So it's a game changer for us, and we believe in it.
Yeah, I think it's fun to see, nothing that is done here is by chance, right? So there's years of data, years of numbers to substantiate everything that's being done. And that goes from both the physical training side, but also the nutrition component. So, whether it's the adult fitness challenge or whether it's the combine, we're really putting together a supplement program that works for each one of these athletes.
100%. Yeah, when you're working in this world, you want to deal with real numbers and results. And it's great to motivate people and pat them on the back. Hey, good job. But ultimately, if we can show like, hey, this is where you came in and this is where you're at, that's what we're about. It's about real results. And ultimately that's going to steer your success for the future and what you're trying to do, whether it's weight loss, putting muscle on, whatever it is. You got to look at what you did last time and how you improved.
And for me personally, a little more on the nutrition side, I think it's fun to watch, some of these guys you think, okay, you're coming out of some of the top college programs in the country. You've probably got your nutrition dialed in. You've probably got your training dialed in. You know exactly what you're doing. But it never ceases to amaze me that that's not the case. And
yeah, it's tough. One of my first gigs was back in 2000 with the Baltimore Ravens, and we were fortunate enough to win a Super Bowl and go through that experience. But to see some of these players that just had no clue, and to see over the past, 18 years how nutrition and training has evolved, both in both fields. But really the key part is how they've connected, and that's what we'll talk a little bit about. But the connection of those two worlds, that's where you see some special results.
For sure. And the habits that you can create with those athletes. So I know, when we sit down, when the guys come for the combine, it's always this idea of your workout starts with your pre-workout drink, and then your workout's not done until you have your rebuild strength post-workout, right? So it's this pattern of integrating nutrition and physical activity that we're not just talking about exercise, we're not just talking about nutrition, but it's really how they work together.
Yeah. And then as you're planning your week and you're looking at, okay, I have my strength day here and I have my conditioning day here, are you bringing the proper supplements throughout that whole week? And that's during a time like the combine where it's such a small window where we need to be very efficient with our results. That's the key part of it. Like you said, it's not just take your shake after. It's like, look at the whole process, everything.
Exactly. And every day is not the same. So one day a guy might have prepare as a pre-workout. One day it might be lift off as a pre-workout. Maybe for a more intense endurance-based day, they're doing CR7 drive before they're hitting the field for a few hours. So it's really that personalized approach that's combined with the training that you're doing for the day.
Yeah, and with diving into our NBA combine training as well and our NBA vets, the CR7 has been great. I mean, because those guys are out on the court for hours. So we've seen a big difference with guys taking that while they play. And then when they lift after, their energy levels are so much better.
It's fun to see them get excited about it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times they're skeptical at first. I don't know what this is. What are you making me do? And then it's like, well, I feel great. I have this energy. I feel like, well, yes, you weren't eating a pizza and beer. Like you're putting good quality nutrition in your body, which is going to fuel you and ultimately help you train.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's fun to see. But I think something that's really unique about Proactive and the relationship that we have with the athletes is that it's not just about the physical training. It's not just about the nutrition, but it's that personalization and it's having that conversation and building that trust with the athlete. So you really get to know them. It's like, they're not just a number that comes in here. They're a real person. And that process of building trust with an athlete, can you kind of maybe explain how you would work with someone that just walks in off the street from a university and starting to build that rapport so you can get the most out of them?
Sure. Yeah. So absolutely. So, our biggest thing as a company is safety, and when you look at the NSF stamp, that's the gold standard for all these pro athletes. And I was just having a conversation with an agent earlier today about, hey, why Herbalife? Why are you using this? And it's number one, it always comes down to safety. With these guys, they have to be so careful. So whether you're a pro or just a person trying to get in shape, that it's safe. It's gone through these testing policies. And so we really take a lot of pride in knowing that, that's important to you guys, and when we can talk about the bars and how those are too, but ultimately like looking at, okay, you're going to come in, you're going to trust us with your training. It's the biggest time of your life. It's the biggest job interview you've ever had. You have millions riding on this. So at the end of the day, they're going to come in and they want to be a sponge. They want to learn what we do. And part of it is a relationship and getting to know them. Then second part is really saying, okay, here's your plan, and that's where we work really closely together, and say, hey, this is what you've been doing. Hey, I weigh, 185 pounds and they say I need to weigh 200 pounds, but I can't lose a step. I need to get faster. And again, that's where it's like dealing with these products, dealing with our training program, putting both of these things together. It's special, because we've seen so many athletes put on 10, 15, 20 pounds and get faster at the same time.
Or lift more.
or lose 30 and be able to double their strength. And so that's a pretty special thing. And so the good part though are the results are there, and when you can speak off results that are real, that have been obtained at a high level, people buy in a lot quicker. So that's where we've had success.
For sure. So I think what we should do now is show everyone that's watching a great example of one of the guys that was here for the Combine program last year, Orlando Brown, and kind of the process that together we worked with him on to get to the results and get him where he is now. So let's take a look.
As far as being an athlete, I don't have, the silver spoon story. I'm not a person that's been handed anything. Coming out of high school as a 3-star prospect, I wasn't very talented I mean, I had great size and length, but I didn't have it physically because I was too heavy at the time, and just my body hadn't matured. And I come in at college about 387. The next year, I get down about another probably 10 to 15, and I'm able to play. For me to give my best, that's just what I've got to do. That's the mentality that I've got to have. My goals for the league is simple, man. I want to be a Hall of Famer. My name is Orlando Brown, offensive tackle.
Herbalife has been a sponsor of Proactive for several years, and every year a group of former college football players comes to Proactive and they train in preparation for the combine.
First time I met Dr. Dana, it was my first week here. She explained to me the calorie concept and how my portion sizes are going to be important.
And so what we do is we sit down and say, what are your goals? Where do you need to be? Okay, we've got 8 weeks until the combine. What do you want to look like when you step on that scale?
I've got a ton of trust in Dr. Dana. The goals that we've set, not the easiest. Obviously, it takes a lot of commitment to, lose weight. But going into my pro day, I'm going to try to get down as low as possible here next week.
The second Orlando opened his mouth, he's driven. He's got inspiration. That he is going to do whatever it takes to be the best version of himself. And I know he gets a lot of that drive and inspiration from his dad.
My dad played in the league for 13 years. Passed when I was 15. I've made promises to him that, I want to uphold. So
he looks to his dad as someone that he wanted to emulate when it comes to his goals and his performance.
The benefit of losing the weight is for a healthier lifestyle and obviously to help me be one of the greatest.
He's going to continue to prove that he can be better than anyone thinks he can be. Weight loss is a constant struggle, right? It's not just getting on the scale at the combine. It's not just pro day. It's not just draft day, but it's how are you going to maintain this throughout your career?
It's a lifestyle. This is who you are, and if you want to be the greatest, it's going to take a lot of work.
Orlando's lost 20 plus pounds, approaching 30 pounds. It's like I'm a proud mom, right? It's like he's achieved what he wants to do, but I know with him is that it's never going to be enough.
As a person, I'm still growing. I like to say I'm not even who I am yet, and that's the truth.
You guys enjoyed that video, and it kind of gives you a little bit of an insight into the process that we go through with the athletes. One thing I completely forgot to mention at the beginning is if you guys have questions along the way, feel free to comment on them, and then I will get the questions and we will answer them throughout. So any burning questions for Ryan, for myself, anything you want to know about sports nutrition, the relationship with Proactive, send in those questions and we'll be sure to get them answered for you. So, kind of coming off of that video a little bit, let's talk about the process of coaching an athlete. And, I think for people watching, we think of athletes as the people you see on TV, right? Those high level athletes. And the reality is working with someone and trying to get them towards their goals. It doesn't matter if they're an elite level athlete or an everyday athlete. Right. It's the process that you go through with them that's really important.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're just the weekend warrior, if you're just somebody that's trying to get in shape, we always stress, know what you did last time. So ultimately, if you're lifting weights, trying to get bigger, you have to have a clear plan. You have to follow a plan, and you have to have a steady progression. So, as you're looking at a barbell bench press that everybody does, get a rep range, pick a weight, see where you get, and then beat it the next time, and track it. So, yeah, you don't need to be a pro to do things like that. Yeah. Ultimately, you want to be able to follow consistency and intensity and maintain that because that's where great results come from.
And something that we were talking about actually before we got started was kind of the joy that you get from following your athletes from a young age through maybe university, through a professional level. And, we're really lucky today to actually have one of those athletes here with us. So not only did you guys start together at a young age, but now we've transitioned and worked with him both from the Herbalife nutrition side as well as Proactive. So I see him over there. I think we should go over and say hi. But before we do that, I want to let you guys get to know him a little bit better. So let's check out our special guest video and one of his favorite recipes.
Hey guys, I'm Daniel Stairs. Check out my go-to post-workout recipe for a cookies and cream recovery shake.
Hey guys, so we are here with our incredible special guest, Daniel Stairs of the LA Galaxy. You want to say hi?
How's it going, guys?
So not only, like I said before, is Daniel a LA Galaxy player, obviously sponsored by Herbalife Nutrition, but he has been training with this guy since what? You were how old?
I think since I was 13 was probably the first time I came in. Probably some rehab stuff, but then we started working on some building muscle and all that.
Gotcha. So what's it like? I mean, now you can go over to StubHub, see him on the field,
Man.
pro athlete. He was a middle schooler when you started with him. What was that like?
I mean, he was always a beast, you know, for a soccer player. He loved to, he trained hard, you know, I mean, he's a quiet guy, but he's a stud, man. We're very proud to see what he's done. And if anybody deserves to be a pro, it's this guy. He's worked, like you said, since he's been 13, you know, he's been grinding for a long time. So it's cool.
So what is it? I mean, you've seen the transition of Proactive and Herbalife Nutrition. What has that impact had on your career? How have you incorporated nutrition into your play, and how does that impact you as a soccer player?
Yeah, I mean, it's been incredible. To be honest, when I first went there, I was in a space that was, I don't know, 10 by 13 or something like that. And now they're in this beautiful spot here. But they've, you know, incorporated things like Herbalife that's helped them. It's helped me. I was a scrawny little kid when I was younger. So starting to go there, I started to build a little muscle, and at least what I'm at right now. But the Herbalife stuff has come in and helped a lot. You know, it's tough in the off season. You know, I come in here to get my training in, and then to get food in, and go play on the field, and then come back. So for me, it's just been big using it in between training sessions, and then just to maintain like calories and what protein I need to get in for the day.
I mean, you're pretty lucky, right? So the LA Galaxy has 2 Herbalife Nutrition dietitians that are there working with you on a daily basis. So you get your shake handed to you after you play.
Yeah,
you have your CR7 drive when you're on the field. You got your prepare before you go out. I know liftoff's one of your favorites.
Absolutely, every morning.
So what does it mean to you? How do you feel when you're training and when you have the ability to put this good quality nutrition into your body?
Oh, hello. No, it's great. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, when you get off the pitch and, you know, your shake's right there, it's nice. It makes you feel almost recovered right away. You know, you get back in. I don't feel like I'm starting my recovery unless I get my shake before I get back to the locker room. But things like liftoff, you know, in the morning, if I'm a little tired, I'll put it in with some emergency or water or whatever, and it just gets me going for the morning so I can have a good training.
And I think what's cool too is we've had the ability, you get to spend some off seasons with us as well. For those of you that were at our LA Galaxy tour this past December, you would have seen Daniel out there competing in our shake making competition. So we have some fun off the field as well.
We have a lot of fun. I think I won a couple of those. So anyone out there who saw that?
This year, you're going to go for it again?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Reigning champs. So
Reigning champs.
Gotta keep it up.
Gotta keep it up. No pressure.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I think one of the things that you touched on is the importance of having your rebuild strength as soon as you finish your workout, right? And you know, we were talking earlier about it doesn't matter if you're Daniel Stairs, pro soccer player, or you're me finishing a workout, having that good quality nutrition as soon as you finish your workout is so important. And it's that habit, like you said, it's just that habit of having it. Your workout's not done until you have that.
Yeah, I mean, I finish a workout and I can go try to find a restaurant out here and find a meal that takes a lot of time, and I'm probably not going to get as much nutrition as I would just taking the shake. So it's great to have it right away. It's easy. I mean, I bring it with me here every time I come in the off season, a little container, and I'm ready to go right after.
And I think, you know, convenience is such a great segue to what we wanted to talk about, which is the new Herbalife 24 Achieve Bar. So as an athlete, as anyone that's active, it's really, really important that you're getting good quality protein throughout the day. And so, we're going to watch a little video on the bar, but then I want to get your guys' opinion on which one of the new bars you like better. I know you have very strong opinions, so let's watch the video and then we'll get their thoughts.
Consuming adequate protein throughout the day is essential for anyone that's active. After we eat protein, it is broken down into amino acids, which are the building blocks of muscles. During the day, and especially during exercise, our muscle fibers are damaged, requiring amino acids to help repair and rebuild them. However, unlike carbohydrates and fat, we don't actually store any of these amino acids in our body, making it essential to consume protein throughout the day to constantly supply our body with the amino acids it needs to build muscle. It, however, can be difficult to get high-quality protein on the go, which is why, with its 20 grams of whey and dairy protein, the Herbalife 24 Cheap Protein Bar is a great snack or post-workout option for anyone every day.
I hope you guys have all had a chance to try the bar. So we've got a little online poll going to see which flavor you guys like the best. But these two really have strong opinions. We were talking beforehand, and one swings one way and one goes the other. So which one's your favorite?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Brownie by far.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I think I'm going to lean towards Daniel on this one. But sorry. I know. But they're both pretty good. So hopefully you guys have tried them. I know they are a huge hit in the Galaxy locker room. We send lots of bars over to them on a weekly basis. So, I think that the thing with the bar is what you touched on earlier, which is the convenience of getting good quality protein. I know you see a lot of people that come in that have no idea what to eat or how to even get good protein in. So how is something like this bar going to be kind of a game changer for your athletes?
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to timing. That's something we talk about all the time. And one of the biggest problems that athletes or everyday people face that are busy is it's like, oh, I got busy, I didn't eat. We always talk to people, when's the last time you ate? Give me the rundown. And it's like, oh, I missed lunch, I missed breakfast. So just having these, there's no excuse. And you get so much protein, low sugar. It's a home run for us. We have all of our guys take these with them, and however you're using it, it's all about timing.
For sure. I mean, I think we were in a meeting up at the Westlake location, and we couldn't even keep the meeting going because we had them on the table, and the guys just kept coming in and taking them. So
probably a guy that, it's been pretty awesome.
It's been quite the hit. So it was a tough meeting. It was fun. It was very disrupted by a lot of bar takers.
Yeah.
So I want to get to a couple of these questions because they pertain to something that you just touched on, which is, that everyday person. And, a lot of times people think like, okay, I need to lose weight, so I'm not going to lift weights. I don't want to bulk up. This goes to, probably half the questions that we have here. I'm trying to lose weight. So how do I actually exercise, build muscle, lose weight? I know it's a complicated question, but how would you answer that for someone?
I mean, especially if you're talking about a female, it's such a myth. I don't want to touch a weight because I'm going to get big. And look, we train a lot of Hollywood type people and models. And the bottom line is your genetics are going to dictate a big majority of how you look, along with your nutrition. If you start getting into weight training and cardiovascular training and mixing it up, your body is really going to respond how it's supposed to. You're going to burn a lot of calories. And if you're just sitting on the cardio pieces, you're missing a big part of the equation. When you talk about metabolism and all those kind of things that we dive into, as a female, you have to lift weights, and there's a lot of people out there that shy away from them, probably because they're just not educated enough to know about, hey, what am I supposed to do? So you want to find somebody that's educated and that can run you through the right program. But the bottom line is, as a female, you should definitely be lifting weights for a lot of reasons.
I mean, I think that's amazing advice because I think that's probably one of the things that we hear the most is I'm trying to lose weight, so I'm going to do a cardio workout and then I'm not going to eat. But the reality is when you're building lean muscle, and that comes from strength training, consuming protein as soon as you finish your workout, that's going to increase muscle mass, which is going to help your metabolism, which is going to help you lose weight faster. So even if you're on a weight loss journey and you're like, I'm going to wait until I get in like super ripped shape, to try some of the Herbalife 24 products, it's not really the case, right? So it really can be part of that weight loss journey, because as you're exercising, you still want to fuel your body as an athlete, because that's going to help you get towards the results that you're looking for.
Right. I think you nailed it too, because every other month and every year there's new fads, right? And
Oh yeah,
hey,
especially in LA.
Right. So the bottom line is, there's so many benefits of these different types of products.
Yeah.
They really can hit home for whatever your results are. If it's weight loss, muscle gain, I think the answer really lies within all of these products.
For sure. And if there's another component to weight loss and performance, and that's staying mentally focused and motivated. I know MLS season is not a short season. It is a long season. It's a grind. It's a short off season. You know, for people, a lot of people are asking, how do you stay mentally motivated to continue to exercise? Maybe when you're tired and when you're sore. Do you have any tips?
I mean, I'm not a mental health expert or anything, but I like to keep just a positive attitude. It is a grind, you know, getting into the gym and all that stuff can be a grind for people. But things like I said, I take lift off every morning, and I don't want to get out of the bed a lot of times, but you know, it helps. It helps you get a little motivated, pep in your step, and that's all you can really ask. Because once you get that going, getting to the gym, doing the rest is the fun part, really. But yeah, it's just keeping a positive attitude, knowing that you can get the results. And I mean, I can be a testament from where I started to where I am now, and many other people out there.
And probably, you know, that team mentality also. You're in a locker room,
Yes.
You've got a group of people, they're going to help motivate you as well.
Yeah, no, it helps to have people on your side, in your corner, whether it's, you know, family, friends, a workout partner. I mean, that's half the reason I come in here. I get to see all the other guys I worked out with, tennis players, golfers, football players, all of it. So it's always a unique experience.
I think that's one of the fun things about coming here and, you know, working especially with the Combine program. It's trying to create that family atmosphere and that support. You know, that process, you might think like, oh, these guys are trained to be pro football players, like how fun, they're about to achieve their dreams, but they've just come from wherever they've lived. They're living in a new place. They're eating different food. They're training in a different way. They're about to go through the biggest day and the biggest test of their lives. And that's a lot of stress and pressure to keep motivated from a different standpoint. So how do you deal with that?
I mean, you know, for us, it's all about the environment, you know, and we have always prided ourselves in creating a positive training environment, you know, and whether it's the football player or the person that it's their first time in the gym, you know, gyms are intimidating,
For sure.
you know, so the positive experience is key. You know, it shouldn't just be yelling and screaming. It's really positivity. And then the other thing is with these Combine athletes and these different people that come, whether they're, you know, big, little, from the South, from California, from another country, whatever it might be, like there's a camaraderie, you know, you guys are all working and sweating next to each other. And we've had people, you know, that have been friends and created these lifelong friendships through spending 6 weeks of grinding together. You know, so that's a special thing.
Go through a lot, 6 weeks.
Go through a lot, yeah.
Down period.
Well, it's a fun atmosphere to walk into, right? Because you can feel that, you know, it's like, yeah, there might be a lot of yelling and screaming and loud music going on in here, but you can feel that positivity. And the more you can surround yourself in that positive environment, the more that hard work becomes fun, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, one of the guys that's been with us again since the start when he was trained is JD Washington, you know, and we watched his journey from a football player trying to make it to now he's, you know, he's a movie star now. And he always goes back to the energy, you know, and the vibe. And sometimes training and going through these things when you're tired or you don't want to do, sometimes it's not fun. So you need that positive energy. You need the people next to you leaning on you, barking out. And so finding a place where you can do that is pretty, and you don't need a fancy gym. You know, you can do that anywhere. You get a group of 2-3 people and you guys have, you know, you're like-minded working towards a goal. There's some great results that can happen.
And I think what you just said about a goal is so important, because everything that you guys do with the Galaxy in terms of collecting data, and then what you do in terms of collecting data here, it's really something where people are allowed to track their progress, right? So every week when we sit down with the guys and it's like, hey, what's body composition? What is the weight at? You know, there's several different factors that are being tracked, and that really can be motivating as well, because if you just focus on weight, you might miss the fact that your fitness level has gotten tremendously better, or you have dropped body fat percentage. And so tracking a lot of different things. I mean, I don't know if you want to kind of go into quickly some of the data that you guys get for yourself and then on some of the athletes.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of data specifically, yeah, we're always talking to athletes about don't stare at your weight.
Yeah.
You know, don't take too much time on that. Let's look at the things you can control immediately: weight and ultimately body fat percentage.
Yeah.
Those are more weeks and months and not
sure.
days. You
For
know,
sure.
so first get yourself consistent,
Yeah.
get a plan, follow the plan, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, and again, you could be in a park, but if you set up a plan, you follow it, and you're consistent. Really, the two things that are going to dictate success of most programs are going to be intensity and consistency. Absolutely. You know, and then after you hit those two in, making sure you're getting your aminos and all the things you need to recover from how you broke your body down.
Yep.
So really putting all those together and looking at that, that's what we believe in.
For sure. And you guys at the Galaxy, you do it as well. Hydration testing,
Yeah.
GPS data, all those
Yeah, I
sorts
mean,
of
we're
things.
tracking stuff on the field, but as far as off the field, where we weigh in and weigh out every day, just to make sure you're not off. I mean, because if you're coming in one day 10 pounds heavier or lighter, maybe it's a nutrition thing, so maybe you need to use some of these, or maybe you're not eating right off the field. But body composition, like you said, I think it's a big thing. You can tell if you've been on the road a lot and you're just eating.
Right.
You know, maybe you're getting a little fatter, and you need to figure out what you're doing and portion it a little better. But yeah, so I mean, we're tracking all that stuff, and hydration's another one that we check a couple of days before the game or something to make sure we're prepared.
Ready to go. So kind of as we start to wrap this up, what would be advice, two different pieces of advice for you, for someone, so I'll give you a second to think about these. So for someone that, you know, is that person that they have this aspiration to work out more and be more fit, but they're scared, they don't know how to do it. They see, you know, either their peers training like these elite level athletes, or they see elite level athletes on TV and they want to aspire to be something like that. How would you motivate someone and encourage them to get there? And for you, what was the process like getting from that middle school kid that was here to being a pro athlete? What was that process like, and how would you motivate someone to reach their goals that way? So
I'll go first. Kind of probably answering a little bit of that, but just getting out there and doing it. I mean, like for me, I was just a kid. I didn't know I was going to be a professional athlete, but I just went out, found a group like them, found people in the similar mindset that wanted to work out. And that's probably the biggest thing, is just finding people, whether it's a trainer, friends, or anything, that have the same mindset, want to achieve the same goals, and just start to do it. Because once you do it, it might be tough, and there are times where it's extremely difficult. You know, you're on the floor or whatever, but you'll start to enjoy it, and you'll start to enjoy beating that. You know, so let's say you're tired one day, you feel like you can't do anything. Next day you come back and you can get all the way through the session. You'll start to enjoy that, and then it becomes easy, and then you want to come back in the gym.
Nice. Good answer.
Been doing it for a while, you know?
I would say, you know, my answer to that is number one is keep it simple, you know, and don't go Instagram scrolling. And if you see all these crazy devices you need and this extravagant plan, it's usually too much, you know. So it comes down to work ethic, you know, and consistency. And again, not to be a Debbie Downer, but understand, is it safe? You know, that's the first thing. Are you doing something, you know, that's going to hurt your body? Because that's what we see a lot of is people that come to us sometimes that have an injury. They can be avoided, and it comes with not overloading your body too much. You know, so if you're going to put a bar on your back and you don't have the mobility to squat, or you don't know the technique, you should figure that out first. You know, so get it right to where you understand the technique, keep it simple, and then progress from it. That's going to allow you to have a long-term success.
And I think you guys would both, that's how you made it.
See,
look at this, you followed that advice, and there you go. And I think one thing that we would all agree on is that no matter where you are in that journey, if you're out there, you're sweating, you're getting your heart rate up, if you think of yourself as an athlete, it's really going to make a big difference in how you approach things, right? And you know, that comes from not just the training that you do, but the nutrition that you're fueling your body with. And so don't wait until you're an elite athlete to try and take care of your body. But as soon as you start into a workout program, you want to fuel yourself beforehand. Maybe it's something like a lift off that's going to give you a little bit of caffeine. You've got CR7 Drive. It's going to fuel you through your workout. And then, of course, Rebuild Strength post-workout. And it doesn't matter. It can be day one of a training program. If you take care of your body from day one, your body is going to thank you when, you know, years down the road, when you can continue to push yourself, when you can continue to train like an athlete on a daily basis. So unless you guys have any final thoughts, I think that is going to be it for us. So thank you guys so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much to our special guests, Daniel Stairs and Ryan Capretta. And hopefully I will see you guys soon. Have a great day.
Thank you.